everyone, and welcome back to The Modern Mythmaker. Today's post is called How to Save Money Without Pain. And I am sharing everything I share today not to brag or make anyone feel less than. I really think that the way I've thought about money over my life can help a lot of people. And if anyone is struggling with money, there's a mindset shift that helped me do so much in my life before I even hit my 30s and is still helping me to this day. If you think of money in units of freedom rather than something to be borrowed and spent on things, it becomes a lot easier to save and get ahead. And here's what I mean by that. Every single time you borrow money to buy something that doesn't increase in value or just buy something that holds you back, you are limiting your personal freedom. And it's important to understand that that is the trade, because as long as you run it through that filter and you still want to make the purchase, it makes everything a lot easier, and it makes it easier to say no to extraneous nonsense. I'm a millennial with no trust fund or deep well of family money to draw from. My father's a teacher turned realtor, my mother is a math tutor. But through saving and investing, I've managed to live a far above average life in terms of wealth of experience with a very average income. Here are some of my financial accomplishments. I've been to 30 countries that I funded entirely by money I saved serving and bartending. I own a home. Not counting my mortgage, I've never paid a dime of interest on debt in my life. But I have earned more than $10,000 in airline miles by using credit cards that earn travel points and paying them off obsessively. I paid my way through college debt-free, again, with only serving and bartending money and no trust fund. And I have enough saved and invested that I'd be okay for years in any emergency. After looking around and talking to friends my age, I've realized I'm an anomaly. 24% of Americans have no savings at all. And yes, some of them are in horrific situations beyond their control, but not all of them are. And if I can reach one person who isn't in that situation and help them, this will all be worth it. So, there's plenty of people living paycheck to paycheck who are making above average salaries but are terrible at managing their money. And if that's you, I'd love to help. After many conversations with people my age who haven't been able to get ahead financially, I've found a small difference in our mindsets. And it's not some crazy grind set or anything that's like all about day trading or any of the nonsense that you see online. It's just switching the way you think of money from a tool to get things into a tool to get freedom. In my 20s, all I wanted to do was travel. So all of my spare income went towards saving for trips. Every time I had $1,000 in the bank, I knew that I had another month on the road in Southeast Asia ahead of me, which was so exciting. I never thought about getting fancy new furniture or flashy cars. This served me in a few ways, even though I hadn't even thought about it back then, because all it was just me wanting to travel. It framed money as a tool for earning units of freedom rather than things I wanted. And it made me think of extraneous stuff as an obstacle to freedom. You can't take a new desk on the road. So I never bought extra stuff unless it directly assisted my goal of extra freedom. Here's how that thought process worked in my head at the time. I don't want a bar tab. That $40 could be 2 nights of food and lodging in Thailand. I don't want to spend $5,000 upgrading my car with some ridiculous thing, compared to 5 months of wandering across Vietnam and Cambodia doing whatever I want. That's not tempting. Framed that way, skipping purchases has never been painful for me. It's just an exchange for something more awesome. And the freedom I've bought with those skipped purchases has given me stories and memories that most people my age just don't have. Years later, when I wanted to settle down and I didn't want to travel as much, I discovered the early retirement movement, the FIRE movement. And because I already thought of money in units of freedom, it was easy to just start investing, because all that meant was just trading up to bigger and bigger freedom units down the road and eventually getting to where I could slay a final boss and just be free for the rest of my life. When you treat money as units of freedom, you're not depriving yourself of anything. You don't have to feel bad that you didn't spend, you know, however many hundreds of dollars on some stupid new pair of headlights for your car when you had functioning old headlights. You are opting out of survival mindset and you're buying time, choice, and flexibility, which is something so many people don't have. And this could look different for anyone. A unit of freedom for you could be a year off to write a book, or the ability to quit a toxic job without spiraling, or just knowing that you can say no, which is something so many people don't get. Once you stop seeing money as stuff and start seeing it as freedom, saving money stops hurting and starts feeling like stockpiling oxygen. That's what I've got for you today. Thank you for tuning into the Modern Mythmaker again. And if you enjoyed what I had to say today, please share today's episode with a friend. It really helps. It means the world. If you're listening on YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcasts, if you could leave a review or a comment on how much you enjoyed the show, that would mean everything. I mean, it's all that can help something like this grow. So thank you very much, and I look forward to talking to you next week.